Welcome everyone to Trending in My Life. Come with me today to see if we can find a turkey. Here I am making my way down towards the farm. The entrance isn't as simple as it looks. You just go up the steps at the side of this building that's about to come into view. But the main sign on the building says it's part of a college. So I never realised it's also a farm that anybody can visit for free. So you just go up those steps and there's a gate, and just inside I found these beautiful goats. They were a lovely chestnutty colour and one of them was sat in the sun. There was this gorgeous white pony having his lunch, tearing away at the straw, and aha! We find the turkey. There he is. I didn't know he was going to be there, but what a surprise. There's some llamas, and they're eating out of a ball, which is like a toy for them. And all of the pens are interconnected, so the turkey was walking through to the pony, and the sheep and the llamas and the geese, they could all walk through to all the different pens. Huge geese. And then there was a small animal section and little pens with rabbits in. This one was very cute, and there was a black one next door to him, also nibbling away at the straw quite happily. Oh yes, he was definitely enjoying that straw. And then there was a big pen with chickens in, who were happily wandering around, shaking a leg or two, waggling their feathers in the wind. I was fascinated by this. This bucket is full of water, but it's sat inside a tyre, and the llama is choosing to drink from between the bucket and the tyre. It's like they were making their own entertainment and it was a toy for him to play with. There's the ponies. There was a sort of grey-black one and a white one. As I say, they just wander through to each other's pens. They're not contained. And there's the turkey again, pretending to be all shy. And a pony in the background. Here we have a butterfly and a squirrel who put in an appearance as I was walking down the path. Having left the farm, I head for Battersea Park, which is famous for having a huge Peace Pagoda right by the Thames. I had a bit of trouble finding it, but on the way I found a lake, swans, and a beautiful set of fountains. So join me. This is Battersea Park. It has lots of gates so you can go into different entrances. And today I'm going in a gate that I've never used before. So I'm looking for a map. Aha! There we are. And we're there. And I want to go to the lake. And there it is. I'll have to follow the path. This is a sculpture, and just beyond it, a better view of the lake. And some ducks. These all got excited and thought I was going to feed them, so came up really close. Lots of lady ducks. And the water was so incredibly clear. There you go, you can see. Oh, and next I spotted some swans who decided to take off right while I was stood there with lots and lots of flapping. It wasn't impressing the pigeon though. These benches were all lined up to face the lake, but the plants and trees had all grown so big they were just looking at the plants. This used to be called elephant grass when I was little, but now they call it pampas grass. I found a place where all the pigeons were hanging out. And in the distance I spotted some fountains, and whoa, there were a lot of fountains. These are the dancing type of fountains which are timed to go on and off and shoot up and down, and you could walk out onto this little pier and be almost in the middle of the fountains, which was really cool. That sky was so blue, but it was, typical fall day, chilly but sunny. And then as I came off that pier, I spotted some beautiful yellow roses, but they were really unusual because the heads of them were all linked together, so you have got like almost a bouquet of roses just on one stem. In the distance I could see something and I didn't know what it was, and I figured I had to walk up it slightly to look down on it. It turned out to be tea on the terrace, sitting along that long bit, and the kiosk was serving tea. Finally I got to the pagoda right by the Thames and made my way up to it. It's really beautiful, and the Buddhas on it are kept very shiny because there's a monk who lives here and tends to it. He keeps all the surrounding area very clean, not a tiny bit of litter anywhere, and he polishes it to make sure it's always shiny and well kept. It's a very peaceful place to visit. It's a Peace Pagoda for world peace. And on one side, as you can see just over this wall, there's the Thames. It's very close to it. There's only a promenade walk between the pagoda and the Thames. Again, beautiful blue sky. I've never actually seen the monk that lives there, but he probably gets up very early and tends to the place so that it's clean and sparkling before anybody gets there. You're only supposed to go to the first level, not the next level, because that's considered disrespectful. I can never quite decide which is my favourite one, but I think it's this one. There again, you can see how clean all the path is. Not one tiny bit of paper, even leaves actually, because yes, we are in fall, so you could quite easily get leaves on it. And there, we're around to the last side now. And the view is the park, Battersea Park, one side, and then you've got the Thames on the other side. And I go down to walk along the promenade, and you can see bridges in the distance. There's bridges all the way along the Thames. This was a passenger boat taking tourists along, and I could hear him doing a commentary telling them what they were looking at, and I guess they were looking at the Peace Pagoda. This part of the promenade, you could see a beach both sides of the river, and next I follow the path under this bridge, and I'm heading for Battersea Power Station, which has been changed into a shopping mall, and I'd never been there before, so this was all new to me. It wasn't a power station that ever had nuclear power in, it was a coal-fired power station. And we're almost there now. You can see city buildings of London in the distance, and this is the final tunnel before you get to the power station and all the shops. Very bright and colourful. There it is. There's two big chimneys. There's actually four in total. Has some water just outside it, which is very pretty. And I took this because it tells you the history of it and who actually designed it, and it was built in two parts. So there would be two chimneys to start with, then four. once you're inside, there are some old bits of the original power station, which this is. I couldn't tell you what it did, but there it is. And there was a model of the whole power station so that you could see what it looked like. Probably because it's so big, you wouldn't be able to get that view of it unless you're in a helicopter. It is sort of one of those landmarks in London where you can see it from a long way away, the chimneys of it. And when I entered, you enter straight into the lower level. And you could look up and see how high it was. Now I'm in the main part of the shopping mall, walking along. As you can see, it goes up several floors. I did find it different to any shopping mall I've been to before because the walkways where people are walking are quite dimly lit. There's lots of lights, but they're set to dim where the people are walking. I don't know what that is. I tried to read it and I wasn't sure whether I was reading it backwards or forwards, but I still couldn't figure it out. And now I'm just sort of exploring the place since I'd not been in there before. Going to go up this escalator and get a better view from travelling up the escalator. Ooh, fancy camera work. Look, I'm going to turn around. There we go. It does feel huge because the ceilings are so high. And walking along here, something I noticed was the shops are very brightly lit and the walkways are very dimly lit, and I think that just makes the shops and their lights, and a lot of them have big screen televisions in, it makes that seem even brighter. I felt a bit like a mole that kept blinking in the bright lights. We're heading towards Turbine Hall B, and this is just because the building is Turbine Hall A and Turbine Hall B, because the building was built in two parts. First the A bit, then the B bit. But from a shopping point of view, it just doesn't really mean very much because it's all part of the same shopping mall. You get a good view from this Turbine Hall though, because you can see more the levels. There we go. And as you can see, very bright lights. I felt like it's almost like lit for Christmas, but it's not. It's lit like that all the time. And I think you do get a sense, you can see the shadows, you can see how where people are actually walking is a lot darker. And normal shopping malls, they don't do that, they don't make it darker. There you can see there how dimly lit the paths are. Lots of variety in what's there. There were places to eat, places to do things. This is the coolest thing I'd ever seen. These two guys are playing chess, and the chess set is almost as tall as they are. And it was quite early after they'd opened, maybe about 11 o'clock, something like that. They'd opened about 10, and there weren't a lot of people around. And these guys were so into this game, and it was like they were completely oblivious to the rest of the mall. I thought that was really cool. And of course that's free to do. It's just there all the time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I didn't know that Farm was in Crystal Palace Park. It's sort of at the back of it, and the big sign says Capel Manor College, but it's a teaching farm, so visitors are still welcome to come in and it's free, but it's also there to teach students about looking after animals. Battersea Park is somewhere I've been before, but I've only ever been to the Peace Pagoda from a different entrance from the Thames. And I came in at the lower part of the park, and I'd never seen the lake before or the fountains, so that was a really nice experience. And Battersea Power Station Mall is very different from any mall I've ever been to before. It's all that darkness where you're walking and really bright lights from all the shops. I don't know whether I'd go shopping there because it is very high-end shops in a lot of cases, and not a mix of some sort of medium-priced shops. A lot of it is high-priced. But it was a very interesting experience, and for them to have turned a power station into a shopping mall. And I do know that it stood empty for a long time, so it's good that it's now being used. Well, that's the end for this week. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Tell me your stories of finding things by accident and looking for things just like I did in this video. That's it for this week. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.